We're going to have one more testimony. This one is from James, so come on up.
I'll start off by saying the man that stands before you isn't the man that once stood. BC, that's before Christ. I've lived 1,000 lives, 999 of them unfulfilling. And in 5 minutes, you can't fit all of that in. So I have to stick to the core matter. Growing up, I was subjected to domestic violence, father to mother, and both ways, really. It goes both ways most of the time. And even though my parents loved me, I was pretty broken from a very young age. And then my father and mother separated, and my mum got together with another man who was also abusive to her, both mentally and physically. So I found myself at the age of 16 standing between a 40-year-old man trying to hurt my mum, basically. And I'm not a small boy, so he didn't really get past me. I found myself at the age of 16 doing that. I spent most of my years after that kind of drowning in addiction, alcohol, drugs. My father passed away at the age of 17 because he had an addiction. He was 36 when he passed away. I miss him, but mainly because I'd never really got to know him that much at that age. I started working at the age of 18 as a doorman in town, and when you are living in those circles, you get into really bad habits. So I was, as I said, drowning in alcohol, drowning in drugs, and also being really bad in nightlife, fighting, getting into trouble with the authorities, to the point where I lost my badge, so I couldn't be on the door anymore, lost my job, and started to deal drugs for money. And it got so bad to the point where I got into bad debt with the wrong people, and I had to run away for a while. So I went back to the old country. I'm from Portugal. I went back and I was there for a while, hidden away from the world. When I came back, debts paid, I went back into the same cycle, working to drink, drinking, going back to work. And yeah, it was a very dark time in my life. And until I met my beloved Hannah Marie, our relationship was incredibly broken at the beginning. It was dysfunctional is probably the word to use here. And we broke up and we came back together because there was something there. And Hannah was already a Christian at this point, except she'll tell you herself that she wasn't practicing at this time. And she said, maybe we should start looking for a church. So we did. And we went to a few churches. And we ended up here, except not here. This was back in Merrick Hall. And the first person I think I saw when I walked through the door was John. And it was like, hi! And the biggest man in the world I've ever seen has approached me and like hugged me. And I was like, okay, all right, I can fake this for this relationship. That's what I told myself. We went to a welcomers meal. The good thing, well, not the good thing, but the interesting thing about this is we had the biggest argument before we went to a welcomers meal. And those of you that have been to a welcomers meal, it's amazing, spot on. Food was amazing. We had a big argument. Hannah was like, I'm not going. Come on, we've made a commitment, let's go. So we did. We spent the evening there sharing our time. And as I was speaking to Aid, and a gentleman named Mike Stevenson, who will forever be remembered in my testimony, after I told them a little bit about who I was, Mike turned to me and said, what an amazing testimony. And I thought to myself, I didn't know I had one of those. I thought testimonies were for people who were broken, who were on the ground about to die, and then all of a sudden Jesus comes in and lifts them. I didn't think I was there. That really stuck with me. The following day, Aid was giving a talk on stage, and he invited people to pray. Pray this prayer if you want Jesus in your heart. And I did. And I gave my life to Jesus the following day. Now I'm married to my wonderful Hannah Marie. I have a beautiful daughter named Aria. I have a stable career. I have everything I could possibly ask for. And that's because Jesus came and did a work on my heart. And I'm a completely changed man before you. And I'm not the finished article. But he's continuing to work on me and will continue to work on me throughout my life. So give it a shot, guys.